As I travel overseas, I get a constant question. It's how can Americans be so ignorant? Like, how can they just not care about anything except what they're doing in their own country? They don't know anything about other countries or care about anything, right? And let me explain something to you about Americans. And this is by design, by the way. Americans are suffering so greatly. Like the vast majority of Americans are suffering. Like, they're severely overworked and they're severely underpaid, and just getting a place to live and pay for that and pay for the things that you need for the place to live is just staggeringly hard. It is so difficult that the majority of Americans don't have money left at the end of the month to pay their bills. And God forbid something should happen health-wise, medical-wise, which is an exorbitant bill, and you have no idea how you're going to pay for it. People are going and getting loans to pay for things, payday loans. Like there are so many loan programs where you can get an advance on your check in America because you're so fucking broke that you're out of money before you get your paycheck, right? And so they have all these programs out there to keep poor people poor where you can get an advance on your check. Then what? Then your check comes and you're still fucking behind for the next month. And so the whole thing operates on a credit score, which is manufactured to like keep poor people poor, right? Like even if you go to get car insurance, which you have to get, you're going to get a higher rate because your credit score is low, right? Than you would if your credit score was high. Everything is based on keeping, like, bank fees alone make people broke because they don't have enough money. They run their card, something goes through at the wrong time, an automated bill goes by, bam, $27 fee. They pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars every year for fees like this because they don't have the money, so they get charged more money. It is completely fucking ridiculous. And people are so stressed out, they're working 2 jobs, like, just to even pay for a small place to live. Like when their grandfathers went out and bought a home and on a single family income and went on vacations and had a car and things like this. Like the inflation, it has just decimated America. They're doing this on purpose, by the way, right? And on top of that, they have the division. Like for the last 10 years, we have the MAGA division. Like that is, people don't realize how badly this has split up families. This has split up marriages. Like literally, I think this was in Texas maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, Thanksgiving time maybe. There was a daughter who was kind of like liberal, came home, argued with her father, who was a MAGA guy. He fucking shot her and killed her. Like, shot and killed his own daughter over fucking politics and over this MAGA cult. Unfucking believable. And on top of that now, we're finding out all of this shit about AIPAC, right? And Israel controlling, like literally buying off all of our politicians. We find out about the Epstein files from Israel that are blackmailing people, including the pedophile in chief. We're like, it's overwhelming how we could possibly stop any of this stuff. And people are just trying to survive. They don't have time to figure out how are we going to take down the Epstein class. Like the majority of Americans want everybody on the Epstein files to just be guillotined. I guarantee the majority of Americans want that. But how do we make that happen? Dude, we're just trying to figure out how to pay the electric bill at the end of the month. Like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. And so then, you know, it's not that we don't care about the rest of the world, but see, we see things like for 3 years, we see Palestinians being blown up in tents and children being massacred and people being tortured and a guy being raped in a prison by the IDF. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But like, I got to go to work. Right. And so we just become desensitized to it because what can we do? There's nothing we can do. And it's horrible. We don't want to see it. But it's like, Jesus, man, like, how the hell am I going to do anything? Like, I can barely fucking function and survive every day, right? I can't think about this. And the weekends, like on a Saturday morning, I got to take my kids to youth soccer. By the time I get home, all I can do is like sit around for a couple hours, maybe do some things on the honey-do list. Sunday morning, I got to go to church. I take everybody to church. Yeehaw, praise Jesus. Come home, put my feet up, watch a football game, eat some chicken wings, have a few beers. Now it's time to start getting stressed about going to work tomorrow. That's it. Like, that's it, man. That's your life. And you're just fucking exhausted by all of it. And do you know that you can see millions of people in the street in America protesting? Do you know this is like 1% of America? Do you know what it takes to actually change America? It takes 3% regularly, completely committed every single minute of every single day, 3% to create the change. Do you know what's going to create the change? The next 3 years, because of what Donald Trump has done in Iran. Because right now it's hard to care if you're in America, about Iran, and all you do is hear this propaganda, and you see people blowing up, and you see buildings blowing up, and you feel bad, but you got to go to work, right? It doesn't affect your life, okay? And now, because of what Trump has done, this is going to affect not only Americans' lives, but lives all over the world for years and years and years. Not only the shift of power, but also things like cost and inflation and like absolute crap. Like already, United Airlines put out a statement the other day that they are forecasting through the end of 2027 that oil will be at $175 a barrel. No, does this mean it's going to be? No, but it means they're preparing for it to be, because everybody knows like how badly like this is destroying the economy. This doesn't even take into account things like fertilizer, right? Which is your food supply, right? The farmers are already getting shafted by everything. Now they're about to get shafted again, which is going to, of course, run them out of business, make more like big farm companies like Monsanto and shit like this, right? Like liquid helium, which is going to affect your medical care, your MRIs, things like this. Sulfur, think of everything sulfur's in, right? All of this stuff is going to crash the shit out of the American economy. And so not only is your life still going to suck and still be like this, and still nobody's been arrested that's on the Epstein files list, right? For murdering children, raping children, harvesting adrenochrome. What the fuck, America? What the fuck? What's it going to take to get that 3% and put some guillotines on the White House lawn? The next 3 years, that's what it's going to take. And life is going to suck for you.